Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of Fit for Defense. My name is Kimi Sain, you can call me Mickey. I am a martial artist, a lover of movement, and generally an enthusiast of martial arts. I hold a black belt in Taekwondo, I've dabbled a bit in kickboxing and a little bit of Jiu-Jitsu. Generally a lover of movement and martial arts. Today with me is my boy Gabu. He's a stuntman, a martial artist and an acrobat. And together we're going to teach you a few self-defense moves that will be linked to a few workouts also in preparation for the said moves. Let's get to it.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
One of the most important things to know about defending yourself is the weak points on a human being, right? It doesn't really matter how strong we are, how big we are, how much threat we impose. We all have few points of weakness that can be manipulated, in our case, to defend ourselves. One is the eyes, right? Everybody knows you can never be too strong to have impenetrable eyes. Your eyes could be poked, they could be scratched at, so the eyes is one point to look at. Next is the nose. Maybe a lot of us have never been hit in the face, but if you get punched in the nose, you cannot even control you shedding tears. That just comes automatically. It's a very, very vital point also. The lips as well. The throat. If you get punched in the throat, you might not be strong enough to choke someone out, but that tough impact of a punch to the throat, they'll definitely feel it. Might give you a chance to create a bit of distance between you and the attacker. The solar plexus is also a point, but it requires a bit of training for accuracy because whoever you're fighting might be moving and not just waiting for you to hit. But the most common part and one of the most effective parts is the groin, right? None of us can really defend. You can't take a groin hit if there is proper effective hit to it. So remember these points of reference, the weakest points to attack: the eyes, the nose, the philtrum. This point right here between your nose and your upper lip, that's the philtrum, the throat, the solar plexus, which might require a bit of training, and the groin. Remember that. So today we're going to start off with 4 moves for self-defense. 3 of these moves are hand techniques. The last one is a foot technique. So let's begin. First move, palm heel strike. This is your palm heel. You make a fist and pull back the wrist and expose that lower part of your palm, okay? This part is way more calloused than your knuckles, so you can be able to hit a much harder surface with your knuckles, especially without the proper conditioning required, right? Now remember, this move is a full body movement type of move. You're going to have to move your full body to have an effective hit. So the first thing we talk about is your stabilization. Meaning what? A palm strike is basically like a punch. Difference is you're not using your knuckles, you're using that part of your hand. So you might want to step back with one of your feet, right? Remember, using kinetic energy, you're going to drive this force from the ground through your leg, to your hip, through your core, to your shoulder, all the way through your elbow to the hand, because you're pushing, right? So you're pushing off of the ground towards the attacker. Second move is the hammer strike. Again, this part is the part that makes contact with the attacker. Again, it's way more calloused than your knuckles, especially if you're not properly conditioned. So it's also a very good part to use. Secondly, you can use it to grab onto something, a set of keys, a blunt object, be it a bottle or a bag or even a shoe. Right? This is a good technique because you can actually use it to hold an object when you need to defend yourself. Same criteria, proper stabilization, okay? Difference is this time the strike comes from above. It's like you're swinging an axe or swinging a hammer for that matter, right? So you want your legs proper stabilized, proper distance between your feet, core tightened, back straight to develop an effective strike. And it's the same whether you're striking someone in front of you or someone behind you. Third move, elbow strikes, right? Again, full body movement. You always want to be stable when you're attacking something, because if you're not stable, your hits will be very weak. And in a self-defense situation, you might not want to hit twice, right? You might not even get a chance to hit twice. At arm's length, you can get your attacker at quite a distance, but elbow takes half of that. This is why it's mostly effective with a short distance. Good. So did you see that? The other hand is never dormant. You're always using it just in case. Remember, this is a self-defense situation, so it's not a flashy technique. You're not meant to score 10 over 10. You just need a 5 over 10 to make that guy disoriented for half a second so that you can create your great escape. One more time, a bit slower. Ready? Again, ready? The last technique is a groin kick. Pretty much self-explanatory, right? The kicking leg should come from behind. Have some distance between you and the assailant to have a proper swing and a proper hit. So as explained, when you kick, one leg stands behind, the front leg serves for balance purpose, the rear leg comes swinging towards the target. If the assailant is too close to you, it switches into a knee hit. Same criteria, except now instead of stretching your whole foot, you bend your knee forward, thrust your hips forward, and hit the assailant. Nice. Again, we're going to do that slower. I will go for his neck. He goes for the back of my head, pulls it down, and knees. Anywhere from the groin to the solar plexus, it works. Again, move. So again, this is all about timing. Through training, of course, you train and get your timing right. So that's it, guys. I really hope you've learned something from Fit for Defense. I have been your host, Kimi Sain. Till next time, stay fit.